From the studio at John Abbott College in Saint-Anne-de-Bellevue, Quebec. The Uppity Woman Network, a segment on Channel 8 that gives you your daily dose of Uppity Woman news. We now go live to our studio anchor.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Amanda Kenesis, bringing you the latest in Uppity Woman talk here on Channel 8 News. It is currently 9:42, and but before we begin our field reporter, let's get more into Uppity News. We recently sent one of our reporters up to China, Han Dynasty to be exact, after media rushed to the forbidden but rather the imperial city to get news on the kidnapped emperor. Live from Imperial City, we go way overseas to see Shelly. And now, Shelly, what can you tell us about the situation?
Well, I can tell you this is no ordinary girl. What I've picked up from various sources in my own research here is that a soldier who everyone believed to be Ping is a girl named Mulan from the Fa family. Apparently Mulan was upset that her aging father would fight in the war and did not want to let him go. So she took it upon herself to dress as a man and participate in place of her father. This outrageous action caused by a huge uproar with their community because this is going against Asian Chinese traditions, bringing her family in great dishonor. Most people are unsure about Mulan's whereabouts, but I was able to catch some people to ask about Mulan's on a more personal level. Since she doesn't speak English, we've gotten to her top producers to live edit the video and audio so it looks like she's talking English. So, how was your experience with Mulan? What was she like?
Oh, I knew she was trouble as soon as she spoke without permission. When I called her name, she came into my home and was the most clumsiest woman ever. She's hardly even a woman at all. She ruined my home and set me on fire. Oh, she's not fit for a husband at all. Oh.
It's shocking to hear Mulan be so different from the other women. Along my search for more Mulan information, I went to the General Shang to see if he would give me some of his time to talk about who he thought was his best soldier. Here's what I was able to recap with the general. General Shang leads the Chinese army in this war. He runs a tight ship, no doubt about it, but he was unsuspecting of a female in his army. So, you never knew Ping was a woman?
I trusted Ping. He was a great warrior and risked his life for mine. Had I known Ping was actually a woman, Mulan to be precise, I would have spared the embarrassment of having a woman on the battlefield right from the start. Men know their duties in the war and have experience with weapons and know how to use them. Mulan did not know this because she did not belong in such an environment.
Thank you, General Shang. I've learned more about Mulan than most publishers just won't print. That's ignorance, right? Back to you, Amanda, in the newsroom.
Thank you, Shelly, for that great coverage. And other news, there has been...
Wait! You ever seen breaking news? Mulan is at John Abbott College! Mulan! Do you have a minute for us? Mulan, do you have a minute to answer some questions?
No, I have to find Mushu.
Why didn't you impersonate a man? Why did you leave your duty as a woman?
My father already served in the war, and he got injured because of it. I asked him why does he have to go, and he told me that it's his duties, and it's his role, and he knows his place, and that I should know mine. But I had to do it. It was my decision, and I had to, because if he would have went into war again, he would have died.
You do know you stepped out of your place by doing such actions, right?
I did what I thought must be done.
Thank you. Back to the newsroom with Amanda.
Thank you, Christy. And now a special presentation from Canada's #1 professor in gender studies of sociology. So, Jasmine, what can you tell us about Mulan's behavior in regards to China's society?
Women are meant to bring honor to their family by getting married and having a family of their own. If a woman cannot fulfill these requirements, she will not bring her family honor. Over here we can see Mulan is greatly struggling to fulfill her role as a woman since she has to cheat in order to succeed. Some early foreshadowing is shown here where Mulan will eventually step out of her line when she plays a good move on the board game, which is being played by two males, indicating that she is trying to enter in the man's domain. Mulan already displeased the matchmaker by speaking out of turn when her name was called. She is clearly not suitable to play the expected roles that are required for being a woman. Mulan cannot stay silent as the matchmaker drinks the tea. Her clumsiness is seen here, and unfortunately is the consequence of a very nasty disaster. The matchmaker gets burned from the tea and by the coal. She is set on fire, and it is all of the fault of Mulan. Mulan cannot seem to do anything right, and no matter what she does not succeed. The matchmaker is very displeased with her. Mulan is upset because she realizes she will never bring her family honor. In this song, Mulan doesn't see herself because she isn't what everyone wants her to be. This is an indication that she is not conforming to society's standards of taking on the role of a wife. Instead, she is still searching for who she truly is inside rather than what she is expected to be. Because of this, she rebels in order to find her true self.
I would break my family's heart.
Over here we can see how Mulan cannot resist speaking her mind in a time of silence. She goes forth and tells her father what's on her mind, which only results in him becoming angry toward her at not knowing her place in society when he knows his.
You shouldn't have to go.
Mulan,
There are plenty of young men to fight for China.
It is an honor to protect my country and my family.
So you'll die for honor.
I will die doing what's right.
But if you...
I know my place. It is time you learned yours.
Mulan waits until dark to leave home in order to take her father's place in the war. She cuts her hair and steals his armor in order to appear as a man. This act is severely punishable in China, a death penalty to be exact if she is caught. This punishment shows just how unacceptable the act of a woman impersonating a man is in their society. And even though Mulan knew the consequences of impersonating a man soldier, she still went ahead with it anyway. The importance of being a man is clearly pointed out in this, as well as the differences between men and women. The almost impossible tasks that are asked to be completed by the men are extremely challenging, and in fact, everybody struggles with them. This is to show just how hard it is to be a man, and that the tasks are much more demanding in the men's domain as opposed to the women's domain, where all the women are asked to be is fit for a husband. This song is all about finding a woman worth fighting for. Mulan clearly does not fit in here, and it is obvious that she has no business being in the war at all. All the men there are singing about a girl worth fighting for, however, Mulan is already a girl. Therefore, she quickly becomes confused and is put in an awkward situation. This song is quite self-explanatory, since the line goes, "a girl worth fighting for," rather than "a girl worth fighting the Huns with." All the men have no problem stating what they look for in a woman, but when it's Mulan's turn to contribute, all the men aren't fond of what she has to say. With all the examples previously given, it is obvious that Mulan doesn't belong in this war environment being a woman. She never should have stepped out of her place and take on the responsibility of men in a man's domain.
Well then, this is it. So once again, it is 10:52, and this has been your Uppity Woman Channel 8 news. So goodbye, have an amazing, beautiful, awesome day.